So I went to my endocrinologist today and she took a look at the results that I had gotten back from the gastroenterologist for the ultrasound that I had. And so with the ultrasound that I had, there was my liver was enlarged or some fluid around it. That's all I understood. Um, and then I have my appointment on the 22nd of October. So went in for my endo today and she was looking at the notes and stuff. And so she was concerned about it, and especially with me having to wait so long for this appointment. She said that there was fluid in my stomach and around the liver and in my pelvic. So she's kind of concerned about that. The enlarged liver, she said, could be because I have Addison's disease, that hepatitis could be, I guess, something that comes along with having Addison's disease. And I know nothing about hepatitis. I only know like the STD of it, but it's not that aspect of it. Obviously, it's the autoimmune part of it. So I'm not exact. So that's one of her concerns. It has nothing to do with the medicine that I take. It doesn't have it's so very confusing right now because I have to wait till I see the gastro, and it's not her specialty, so she doesn't really have a lot to go off of except for what she knows from me having Addison's disease. My albumin, I think that's how you pronounce it, has been low for about a year and a half, which she says could contribute to an enlarged liver. And knowing this, isn't it something that should have been looked at before? If my levels were so low on every single blood draw that I have had, why would they have not thought to look at my liver before it had gotten to whatever point it is right now? And it's frustrating, and I understand that along with the blood draws, there's other markers and stuff that have to come up and have to show things, but with having an autoimmune disease and it being a very scary thing because you get all these other autoimmune diseases that come along and all these other complications, and being on steroids for such a prolonged time and all these things it's just really frustrating that these things cannot be caught earlier. I feel like I love my doctor, don't get me wrong, and it's the blood draws that I have had aren't always from her, from my naturopath, who I absolutely love as well, but it's just frustrating, and it's getting to the point where all these things keep coming on, and I feel like all these symptoms are snowballing, and all these diseases are just piling up, and nothing that I do is affecting them, and it just seems like I keep getting worse and worse, and yeah, it's just extremely frustrating when I do everything possible to be healthy. And it's like you can't stress, you can't get sick, you can't stop living life. And that's what I've done for so long, and now I get a chance to take some of that back, but it's I just feel like I keep getting hit and pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, and it's like there's no way out of this hole that I keep getting thrown into. There's got to be something in the medical community that needs to be done for this, because we have all these doctors that we have to see and all these specialists and tests that needs to be done, but all these tests are missing key points to what's really wrong with us. And there needs to be doctors out there who actually just specialize in these certain autoimmune diseases to catch things, maybe catch things from happening or catch other diseases from developing. But you go to all these specialists like endocrinologists and gastroenterologists and a neurologist and all these things, but I feel like they're all missing something in the aspect of not all of them understand. I know, being on social media and being connected with other people who have Addison's disease, and their endocrinologists know nothing about Addison's disease or any other specialists or doctors. They don't realize what it is or everything that comes along with it. And they just kind of want to pass these pills at you. And I get that feeds their pockets, but it does nothing for us. It just kind of keeps us in the dark and wondering. And then we get we get criticized for thinking there's more things wrong with us, and they're like, no, it's in your head, you just think all these symptoms keep coming on, and it's like, no, there's definitely something wrong, and you take these tests and none of them come back. They all come back negative except for, maybe a couple, and it's like, okay, follow up on this. I've had all these tests and stuff done, and most of them come back negative, and now there's all these other ones that should have been tested before, like my liver. How long has my liver been enlarged? Has it been since my albumin levels have been low? And I'm sorry if I'm butchering that word, but and that's been over a year. So why? I feel like when we have these autoimmune diseases and our blood work comes back and some levels are low, then those levels need to be looked at. Why are they low? Let's get a look at their liver or their kidneys or whatever it is that's going on with them, so that maybe this could have been prevented. Maybe I wouldn't be as sick as I am, or maybe you wouldn't be as sick as you are. But I just feel like something really needs to be done, and I don't even know where to start. I mean, where do you start with all of this when you go to these doctors who don't know nothing about the disease you have, and you're relying on them so much to treat you, but they don't even know how to treat you because it's not something they learned, or it was something that was brushed off in medical school of, oh, this is Addison's disease. JFK had it. Moving on. You have to take this for the rest of your life to survive. Moving on. To me, those are important things, obviously, because I have it, but those are important things that need to be, dealt with. I feel like a lot of the issue, that with like cancers and diabetes and all of this stuff, yes, they are important. And I have family members and friends who have been, had this tragedy happen to them as well. But some of these autoimmune diseases, like Addison's disease, it is life-threatening, and it's non-curable. So I'm stuck taking these steroids that are destroying my body, but there's nothing anybody can do because now nobody knows anything about it. There's no research really on it. There's nothing that's being touched about it, and when it brings up all these other autoimmune diseases, it just gets really frustrating. And then your body starts to shut down, and you start to lose, you go into depression, and you lose who you are, you lose your friends, you start to lose everything. I want something out there, someone out there in the medical community to look into this, to look into what can be done, what doctors would be the best doctors to see. Are there specialists who just deal with these rare autoimmune diseases? And, where are they? Are they all in Europe? Are they all in, who knows where? But I just really think that more awareness needs to be brought to this. And, something needs to be done because it is destroying so many people, and the pain that you have to live with on a daily basis, and the steroids that are destroying your body, and the loss of friendships and all this stuff, and the things that you can and cannot do. And it's really like you have to become a hermit because you have to shelter yourself from the outside world because you can't be around everybody who has germs, because if you get sick, you can end up in a crisis or a coma or dead. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I'm venting because I'm super frustrated with Addisons, and then came fibromyalgia, and then came the gastroenterology problems, and now it's my liver. And I'm almost like, all right, what next? What else could possibly happen? And I hate to say that, knock on wood, because, it can. I could develop, I'm always going to be pre-diabetic if I don't go into having full-blown diabetes because of the Addison's disease. And it's worse than what people think. You can Google it, but it doesn't even explain what the person is going through. Any autoimmune disease, any disease in general is a horrible thing. And I really think that they need to just stop pushing all these meds and really figure out what is the cause of this and how we can stop it, and better ways to stop it that keeps us from getting even sicker. Because I'm not going to take a bunch of antidepressants and then these pills and these pills that cause these and these and these side effects. I'm not going to do that to my body because my body is already fighting so hard right now to stay alive. And it just, something needs to be done. So that is my vent. I am sorry. I'm frustrated, but I just needed to be said.